Hi, how is everyone? Welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. I hope you're all well. I'm so happy to be here again. I know it's been a while, but I'm back for a full hour of mini readings today. So if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, please click the link in the description and come on over to Crowdcast, because only here can I do a mini reading for you. Otherwise, you can definitely also just watch on YouTube or Facebook. But if you want a mini reading, you will have to come over to Crowdcast, and there's a link in the description. All right, so also if you have any tech issues, like you suddenly can't hear me anymore, can't see me anymore, just reload your screen, reload your page, and you should be fine. All right, so now let me introduce myself. My name is Yamile Yemoonyah, and I'm a spirit guide medium, which means that I can sense other people's spirit guides and I can give you messages from your own spirit guides. And I'm also an award-winning author. Yes, I won an award for my book, and I'm so excited about that. And my book was published by Hay House. This is what it looks like. It's called The 7 Types of Spirit Guide. And if you haven't read my book yet, you can get it on my website. So go to thespiritguidemedium.com and you can get it there. And you can also get it on Amazon, in your bookstore, anywhere else, all across the world. But if you buy it on my website, you get some bonuses as well. So go to thespiritguidemedium.com, and actually let me put in the link for the book in the chat. Hold on. Here we go, my book, and here's the link. There you go. All right, so if you have read the book already, thank you so much. I really hope you liked it, and I would love it if you could leave me a rating on Amazon. And yes, I would love it if you could give me, obviously, 5 stars, but I would love it even more if you could also just type a quick message why you liked it. Because the written reviews are worth more on Amazon than just the stars. And so this will really help me to get the book into the hands of people who need to read it. So thank you for that. So we have lots of people here today. Tiff says, I highly recommend the book. It's a life changer. Thank you. And Shannon says, loved your book. Oh, you guys are so nice. Hila says, congratulations. Thank you. I'm definitely very excited about that award. It's my first book. I mean, that's amazing. Tiffany is still reading the book. Let's see. Hi, Maria says, yay, so good to see you again. It's good to see you again as well. Joanna says, so honored to be here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Of course, I love spending time with you guys. It's fun. All right, so on this episode of the Spirit Guide Show, we're doing just mini readings, full hour of mini readings. And I hope you're excited about that. But before we get started with the readings, here are a few things that you need to know. Number 1, I have my own definition of spirit guides, which is based on what my spirit guides taught me. Obviously, other people have other definitions. The spirit world and communicating with the spirit world is not an exact science. Just to make that very clear, but so we're all on the same page. Here's my definition. Any kind of being from the higher realms that are connected to us in unconditional love and want to help us on our spiritual path and in day-to-day life is a spirit guide. And there are 7 different types of guides. So we have angels. I don't have to explain that much. Most people know what angels are. Ancestors, and these are ancestors, obviously including parents, grandparents, and the ancestors that you actually knew in life. But when it comes to spirit guides, it's usually the ones from further back, so hundreds or even thousands of years ago, simply because they are more evolved, they know more, they have more experience. Then number 3 is nature spirits, and these are not these are like kind of like the souls of the trees and the spirit of the trees and the bushes and all that. And we as humans often perceive them to be as we perceive them to be like elves, gnomes, fairies, and all these other names that we have from around the world for these beings. And that's how we often see them. And this is what I'm saying now is true for any kind of spirit guide. The way we see them does not mean that they actually look like that. They just help us to understand them. Most of, like, I would say actually all spirit guides are energetic beings. They don't necessarily have a physical form the way we do, just to make that clear. Then we have star beings, otherwise known as aliens, but I don't like to call them that because it's just like too many people have seen too many scary Hollywood movies. And so I call them star beings, also because star beings includes a bit more than the typical like aliens that we learn about. Star beings, for example, also includes the planets themselves because they have consciousness just like a tree. And so we can work with them as well, as we all know from astrology, by the way. Then we have ascended masters. These were once humans incarnated here on Earth, but they reached what we call enlightenment and therefore left the reincarnation cycle and are not incarnating as humans anymore, but they're still here. They're still, they're still around in the spirit world and are helping us from there. And then we have deities, so that's gods and goddesses, again, from all over the world, different names. The ones that we still remember, like, let's say, Athena, Yemoonyah, Shiva, and all the other ones. But this also includes the ones that were forgotten by humans. That doesn't mean that they're not here anymore. And they can still help us. We just don't remember their names. And then last but not least, we have animal guides. And animal guides are not like the souls of individual animals that have passed. So yes, your pet dog or your cat or your, I don't know, little ferret, when they pass, they can be around you and they can help you and they can just like hang out with you, just like they did when they were still incarnated. But when it comes to spirit guides, animal guides are the spirit of an entire species. So you would work with dog spirit instead of like an individual dog, if that makes sense. All right. So, and then we all have a team of guides, not just one. So the one that has the most important message for you today is the one that steps forward. And I don't decide who that is. For me, it's kind of like I pick up the phone and I see who's there, and that's it. So I don't decide who comes through. And then this is the most important part. You get the message that you need to hear, which is maybe different from what you expect to hear or even want to hear. And that does not mean that they're going to tell you anything negative. They would never do that, so don't worry. And if they tell you something, then only to help you, like, and I always have this example because it happens quite a bit, that the spirit guides say, hey, don't drink so much coffee or don't eat so much junk food. That's something they might say, but only to help you. All right. And so how I work is like I close my eyes just because it helps me to focus. That's the only reason. And my head is oftentimes a little like to the left like this, as if I'm listening, and I am, but I don't get the messages as words. I get them as downloads and sudden insights. That's called claircognizance, and as visuals, that's called clairvoyance. And then I translate it into words and give you the messages that are for you. And in between, I will sometimes ask you, does this make sense? Do you understand this? And then you just say yes, no, give me some explanation, whatever makes sense in the moment. Right. And one last thing, and this is also super important, if you do not get a reading today, because I can't do everyone, there's just not enough time in the day, don't be disappointed. Instead, pay attention to messages that other people get and that seem to also apply to you. If it feels like this, oh, wow, this message could be for me, then listen up, because it is for you, even though someone else is getting the message. Your guides know that you are here and that you're waiting to get a reading. And they will, especially because like there's so many people and it's just me, I just can't read for everyone. They know that, and so they will work together. So if someone, for example, if there are 5 people here, and going back to my example, there are 5 people here that shouldn't be drinking so much coffee, and then the guides will pick me 1 person, and I give the message, and everyone else who feels like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't drink so much coffee, take that as a message from your own guides. All right. Okay, so and here's what you need to do now. I want you to go to the Ask a Question section. That's not the chat. It's not the same thing, okay? On the laptop, it's like basically down there under the green button that says book a reading. And on your phone, I always forget how it looks on my phone. Can someone who's on the phone and knows, can someone like type in the chat how to find that? That would be amazing. Thank you. Oh, and I think you can also put it in the chat, but with a question mark, because then it becomes a question. Then it gives you the opportunity to move it to the Ask a Question section, I think. All right. So again, go to the Ask a Question section and type newbie. Nothing else. No please, no thank you, no long questions, nothing. Just newbie, so I can quickly find you guys. And then I will do reading. Well, I will invite you on screen, that first, along with a few other people. And when I invite you on screen, I will say I'm inviting, let's say, Alexandra, just as a example. And then Alexandra gets a little notification that says that I invite her on screen. You have to say yes, and then you'll pop up here with me. And then I can do a reading for you. And I'll invite a few people at the same time so that we can go a bit quicker. And I'll do the readings one by one. And that's it. That's how it works. So one last time, if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, find the link in the description. Come on over here to Crowdcast, because only here can I do a reading for you. All right, so let's do this. Again, guys, only newbie. I'm not even looking at anything else. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to invite on screen Agatha. And I'm going to invite Yasmin or Jasmine. And I'm going to invite Wendy. Also, guys, this is only for people who've never had a reading from me. I should have said that earlier. So if you've had like a paid reading or a mini reading before, please let other people go first. All right. All right. So we have 2 people here. Awesome. And Wendy, I'm going to mute you first, and I'll go with Yasmin first. Is it Yasmin or Jasmine?
Jasmine.
Okay, awesome. It always depends on the country, different ways to say
you
names.
Go by, Jamil.
Yeah, Yamile. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in other countries it's Jamila with an A at the end, or sometimes it's spelled with a J at the beginning, whereas mine is a Y. That's the Colombian Venezuelan version. So yeah. All right, so let me see. Let me tune in. I'm going to close my eyes. It will take me maybe 30 seconds, and then I'll get started. All right. Okay. So I don't see who's here yet, but I'm already getting messages. That happens sometimes. Your guide is definitely telling me that you're kind of like I don't know if this is the right word, but like a calm person, down to earth, someone who's fairly like, rooted. But again, when I say rooted, I don't mean that you, for example, always live in the same place. Maybe you move a lot around. I don't know, but rooted more in a sense of it's not easy to take you out of your center. It's not, you're rooted in yourself, so it's not easy to for anyone else to make you lose yourself. So you have a very strong sense of like coming back to your center, coming back to your own balance. And who's saying this? By the way, that's a really good thing. That's it's something that serves you well in life. Right, this is an ascended master talking. It's a female. She looks fairly young. She has dark brown, maybe black hair, and it's pulled up in a ponytail, and then one long, really long braid. I think she has green eyes. Excuse me. And some freckles. Very beautiful. And it's interesting because she looks like oftentimes ascended masters kind of look like Merlin or like someone or a Buddhist monk or something like this. But this one, so someone who's like following or actually a leader of a spiritual tradition or something like this, like a holy person. That's what they often look like. This one looks very modern in the sense that she's wearing modern clothes. In fact, she's wearing something as if she just jumped out of the Matrix trilogy, which is interesting. But she's your teacher. So it's like, she's kind of like your spiritual teacher. She's here to help you evolve spiritually. And she says this like rootedness inside of yourself is something that you've worked hard on developing over lifetimes. Because you noticed watching other souls. Oh, this is really interesting reading. So while you were not incarnated, you watched other souls, and you realized that a lot of them kind of like lose track of what they actually wanted to do in life, because they kind of get distracted by all kinds of things. And so you really studied that and really decided, oh, okay, so I need to make sure that I stay rooted inside myself and connected with my soul and my purpose. And so you worked on that. And so here you are. And she says, that's one of the things that you can teach others as well. And that doesn't mean that you have to like start courses about it. You could if you wanted to, but it's more about like just you being yourself and just doing your own thing is an inspiration to others. All right, that was a lot already. Did any of that make sense to you?
Yeah, it did. I do try to practice staying grounded a lot. And I do also help others and give others spiritual advice.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Let me see if there's any final words for you. So yeah, when you do feel as if you're being pulled out of your center for whatever reason, really, like you say yourself, any kind of grounding practices will bring you back. And also being in nature will bring you back. You also have some nature spirits around you, but I don't have the time to get into that. But they are there for you. Also, definitely work with the law of attraction, manifesting, these kinds of things, because that will benefit you a lot. And you definitely have the ability to attract things to you that you need. You just need to believe in yourself a little bit more when it comes to that, and dream big, like really big. Allow yourself to dream big. Allow yourself to want things that might be out of your reach right now, but there's nothing wrong with wanting things or desiring things. So allow yourself, and the more you allow yourself to want these things and dream of it, the more you allow it to come into your reality. And so work with that as well, definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I hope it helps you.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
All right. Thank you for coming. All right. Let me turn on my light. Yeah, that's better. So here we have Wendy. Hi, Wendy. How are you today?
I'm excellent. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Bye.
This is exciting. Yeah, by selected. So that's awesome. I feel like I've been trying to make contact with guides who I'm not sure who they are a lot lately. And I've been outside, kind of like the last reading you just did, trying to connect with nature and stay grounded, which is difficult.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, it can be very difficult, especially for us spiritual types, because we're oftentimes like up there with the away with the fairies. And so, yes, for anyone who's listening, grounding is like essential, guys. And grounding, and I know if I've said this before, but grounding just does not just mean like walking barefoot on the earth or something. Grounding really means, as we just said earlier, being grounded in yourself and being grounded in your life. So if you have the feeling that you don't like your life and you would like to really go and live with the fairies, you are not grounded. And being grounded also means to really answer life. So if there is a responsibility, then you have to take care of that. That means that is being grounded as well. Just to make that, very clear.
The distinction, because I seem to go from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. I'm similar. All right, let me see what I can get for you, or who I can get for you. Again, I'm not seeing who's there yet, but I can get some messages. Do you know that you were what we nowadays call a witch in a past life? Are you aware of that already?
I suspected.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so in that past life, you had a partner, as in a romantic partner, and that was difficult because you were a woman, she was a woman, and in that time that was difficult. So you had to keep it secret. And you are generally what's the word? Someone who goes against the grain, someone who stands out, like you think differently than other people. Generally, as a soul, that is part of your purpose, to show people that things can be approached differently, thought about differently, and that is not always easy. And so this woman, your partner in that lifetime, pops up in your lives again and again in different forms. So she's not always like your romantic partner. She can be a friend, a mother, whatever, all kinds of different roles, but she's very important in your soul development. And so she is still around you. And both of you are part of a group that works with another female ascended master. And this one is all about magic. So ascended masters oftentimes followed like a specific spiritual tradition in their lifetime, and therefore also often work with people that follow that tradition or have a knack for that tradition. So this one is about like working with magic, as in like doing spells and like rituals and these kinds of things. And to just make this very clear, because there are still some people that think that witches and magic is a bad thing. It's not. It has nothing to do with black magic. And so she says, if you haven't looked into that yet, to really go and find an introductory book to magic, or go deeper into it if you have already done it, because you have like we said earlier, your brain works a little bit different from most people's brains, and it's really good at like working with intention setting and therefore calling things in. So magic is like for you a really good way of getting the things you want in your life. And I'm getting the name Cassandra, but I'm not sure if this is like your friend or if it's like the ascended master. Oh, it's the ascended master. Okay. So so you can work with both of these souls, so like your friend and the ascended master. And there are others out there that belong to that same group that you might or might not meet in this lifetime, but know that you are not alone. And she says that you have definitely had times in your life that you felt lonely, that you felt that other people didn't really understand you. And so that's why she says, be aware that you are definitely not alone. There's a whole group of like souls that work with you in different lifetimes. And you can always call on them, especially when you feel lonely or not accepted in some way or anything in that direction. All right. So does that make sense? Have you worked with magic before?
I have not, but I've thought about doing that. I am drawn to it, and I'm drawn to a couple of people that I know that do it. So I am going to look up some books that resonate, and I'm excited. And I don't know, I'm excited about having something to look forward to or something else to work on, because I felt
awesome.
So that is perfect.
Awesome. Well, see that as a confirmation that you're on the right path. If you're already like following some people that you think are interesting and all that, amazing. Also, I just thought, like, for everyone who's watching, like if you have like book recommendations or like people that you like to follow that have to do with magic or anything, just share that in the chat. And so then we can all benefit from that. That would be amazing. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Wendy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Everyone else online.
All right. See you next time. All right. So, oh my God, how is it already half an hour in? Time goes so fast. All right. I'm just checking the chat if there was anything. Oh yeah, of course. Kathy, thank you for that recommendation. Wiccan Made Easy from Hay House. And it's, I forget her name right now. She's been like a witch for, I don't know, 40 years, I think. So she was one of the first people to come out as a witch in the US. And she had some, I don't remember what it was. She was a politician or something. She was in some kind of position where most people would never do that. And she's definitely amazing. Yes, that's a good one. Yeah, and also, Hero, thanks for not discussing vaccines here, because like I know like in this community there we have both sides. Some are totally for it, some are totally against it, and I don't want any stress here about that. Oh yeah, witchcraft is also a good one. Witchcraft is, oh God, I forget her name as well. Anyway, it came almost out at the same time as my book. And it's also by Hay House, and it's a good one, definitely. I have it here actually. Juliet Diaz is also a good one, definitely. She has, I think, 2 books by now. It's okay, Hero, don't worry about it. All right, so I'm gonna move on and invite some more people to come up and get a reading. So we have, let's see, Alexia. Going to invite you on screen, and I'm going to invite Karen. Hi, Rita. Nice to see you. I know you're booked in for a reading, so I'm not going to pick you today, but I'm looking forward to do your reading. Karen, I'm going to invite Karen. And I'm going to invite Carmen. Now let's see if someone pops up. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. No one yet. Okay, then we'll go with Keisha. Oh, here we go. We have someone. Yay. Hi, Karen. Sorry, Keisha.
Hi.
I'll remember.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you very
Okay, great.
loud and clear. Perfect.
Great.
All right. So where are you from?
North Carolina.
Ah, okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to close my eyes and see who's here for you. All right. So that's very clear. There's ancestors here for you. All right, so they're kind of like here as a group. So far, it's not like one ancestor that steps forward. It's more like a group consciousness kind of thing, which does happen quite regularly with ancestors. And what they're saying, the way, so I see them as a group, like I said, and I see them in farmers' clothes. So one is like holding pitchfork, that's the word. So it reminds me a little bit of like that very famous painting. I don't know by who it is, but it's like a couple, and I think he or her is holding a pitchfork. Anyway, so that reminds me, that's what it reminds me of a little bit. So, which means that somewhere along like your lineage in the past, you had ancestors that were farmers. Are you aware of that?
My great grandparents were farmers. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that makes sense. Like with the kind of time that the way they look. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely very proud people, not in a negative sense at all. Some people think like pride is a bad thing, but not at all in this case. They're very proud people. They're proud of like what they accomplished in their lifetimes. They're proud of like their lineage. They are very involved in the lineage in the sense of like supporting anyone who's incarnated. So at the moment, so that would be you. And so they are very, very supportive. And they say that you can connect with them through anything to do with, I mean, farming. I'm guessing you're not going to start a farm, but maybe, who knows? But
No, I actually live on a farm. I'm a farmer.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. Even better, because I was going to say through farming, and then I was like, oh, she probably lives in a city. So, and then I was going to say, or gardening, or there you go, even better. Amazing. Amazing. So yeah, you can connect with your ancestors through farming. So every time you do any kind of like farming activities is really the time that you can like just say, hey, if you have anything to say, if you like have any suggestions, then let me know. And then just empty your mind as much as you can while you do whatever you do. I have no clue about farming. Then they will give you some insights and some information and maybe some tips on like how you can do things better, etc. And so yeah, they're now I also understand why they're so proud, because you're also like you live on a farm and do farming. They really like that. And so they're for them it's a lot about like also honoring traditions in a positive way. So sometimes when we honor traditions and we hold on to traditions that don't make sense anymore, it doesn't help anyone. But obviously, like traditions are important. We can learn from the past. We can, it's easier to move forwards if we are connected to the past. And so anything that you have learned from the past that you think is still valid and useful now, hold on to that. They're saying you also are connected to nature spirits. And if you work with them, anything that has to do with farming, gardening, anything that you want to let grow in a like literal sense, again, farming, gardening, but also in a non-literal sense. So anything like if you want to grow and this is just an example that I make up. Let's say you want to grow your compassion, or you want to grow your knowledge about something, or you want to grow your business, anything like that, connect with the nature spirits. And you can do that by bringing little offerings to a place on your farm that you especially appreciate. Something is some place that like a tree that you really love, or some space that you feel spiritually connected to in some way, shape, or form. And then just bring like a little bit of corn flour and some kind of like spirit. And I mean like the drinking kind. So like whatever you want, whiskey, vodka, something that you have in the house, or something that you can easily buy. So these are the two things. Just do that from time to time. And nature spirits will be happy with you.
Great.
And will help you and support you. Okay. Yeah, and again, your ancestors are definitely very proud in like what they have accomplished, what you have accomplished, and generally like your lineage.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm happy that made sense with the farming. That's really
it did. It did. Thank you.
So do you have like a favorite tree or some place on your farm that you really love?
Yes, I do.
Perfect.
I know the perfect spot.
Okay, perfect. All right. Then thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, and here we have Carmen. How are you?
I am fine, so excited and so blessed.
Thank you. Where are you from? Okay.
From
Where in
Spain. The north, near Pamplona, where people run in the streets.
Yeah. Oh my God, do they still do that? Amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I like where's the tomato throwing festivals?
More in the Mediterranean side.
Okay. Yeah, that seems safer somehow.
Crazy as well, but yeah.
All right, let's see who is here for you. Oh my God, today is the day of the Ascended Masters. So another female Ascended Master here. Actually, Hold on. I'm actually not quite sure if it's a female or a male, or if it's two. Could be two. Let's just see what happens. Right, it's two. So it's a male and a female. And they're saying your life challenge, and maybe I have to explain that real quick. So everyone has like a life purpose, and we also have a challenge, which is kind of like something that we need to work on and develop a little bit so that we can move on more easily. And so your life challenge is about balance. So it's about like finding balance in all kinds of ways, and that can show up like in an emotional way, or it can show up in a sense of like that you get like too obsessed about things and then forget about other things. And these are just examples. Or it can show up in like not eating like balance, or in all kinds of ways. But so balance is something that you want to pay attention to generally. And they're saying you've been working on this already. And if you keep working on it, then it actually can become a really great strength for you. So oftentimes when we're really good at something as humans, it is because it was a challenge, and we've worked really hard on it over sometimes lifetime, sometimes just like in one lifetime, and then it becomes a strength. And so, balance. And that's also why, that's also why it's two, a male and a female. Again, it's about the balance. And so they are here to help you with that, to help you balance everything in your life. Does that make sense so far?
Yes. Do you think it's related to the physical aspect, to my physical challenge, health challenge, are related to balance as well?
It could be, yeah. Do you have like, for example, people who have, what's that called when you feel like you're falling over or like getting dizzy? I forget the word, but like some people have like problems with like the balance, vertigo. Thank you. Yeah, Jasmine, thank you. Some people have like problems with like their ears, in a sense, because we have these like, I don't even know how it works, but balance in our ears. And some people have problems with that. So that could be like a direct physical way of showing that you need to work on your balance. Or in other ways. Do you suffer from anything like that, like physically?
My legs and fatigue, I'm very weak and for
could be.
some years.
Could be. So definitely look at like your life in general, like where are you balanced, where are you not balanced, and really go through everything, like from like diet to pH and your skincare, these kinds of things, like anything that has to do with balance, just go through it and see, could I do something more there, just to boost your overall balance, and it might help with like the physical then as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it necessarily does. I'm not a doctor, but it could. They're also saying you're definitely a very strong person. Like you have a really strong inner strength that you can draw on, and that's again, you're also fairly rooted in that sense. You have I don't know what that means. They just said you have a strong background. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean anything to you?
background, family, maybe ancestral
Could be.
heritage of women. They are very strong, all of them.
Oh, then maybe that's it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, strong background that helps you. So when you feel unbalanced in any way, again, physical, emotional, mental, whatever, tune into your strong background. Maybe like connect with your ancestors, and especially the female ancestors, and that will help you as well. But yes, very strong. You have a very strong like soul, and so you don't really have anything to worry about, and you're definitely on the right path. And just keep going, and they're here to help you, definitely. And you have a lot to give to the world, so keep just like showing up, keep doing your thing. Just be yourself, because they're saying you're perfect the way you are. There's nothing to worry about. Just keep going. You're definitely on the right path. Well, I'm glad this helps you.
Yes, goosebumps all over my body.
Oh,
Thank you, Yamila. They are
you're very welcome.
situational, or they are always be here for me. These two
They're
lines.
always around you. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can always work with them. All right.
what a
Thank you so
blessing.
much
Thank
for coming.
you. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. All right, so we have a little bit more time, and I think I'm going to answer questions in that time. So if anyone has questions, post them wherever you want. And it's harder for me to find them in the chat, so if you want, put them in the Ask a Question box. But yeah, because I earlier saw lots of questions there, so here, number one. Lauren asked, how can I connect with spirit? That's a very complicated question that I really can't answer in just a minute. Please, like I'm doing workshops and courses all the time. So that's what I teach in my courses and workshops. And these are sometimes like 3-hour workshops or even 6-week workshops. So I can't really compress like 6 weeks into like a minute, but I do have a course on my website. It's a bit an older one, so I should suggest you sign up for new ones. There will be a new one in December, and that will be a beginner's one. And then in January, I will do another one that's a little bit more intermediate. So look out for that in the future. But generally, what I can say, it's a skill. It's like you can learn it just like anything else. It's something that you have to practice, just like playing the piano. It's not going to happen by just listening to one meditation on YouTube. Well, sometimes it actually does, but usually it doesn't. So it's a skill, and you just need to learn like how to do it and then practice. That's really how it goes. All right. Oh, here. Oh, thank you, Ron. Ron says he's taking the 6-week workshop that I'm doing right now. Unfortunately, it's too late to sign up for that. Actually, we're doing the last session next week, and he says it's awesome. I'm very glad you like it, Ron. Sorry for it. I'm just reading the questions. Bob says, I read your book when it first came out, though through no fault of yours, I can't seem to connect nor communicate with my spirit guides. Yeah, now I sound like I'm just wanting to sell my courses. Sorry about that. But if you have trouble, definitely come and sign up for one of my courses, because then I will teach you more about how to connect. In the book, it's there how to do it, but it's like kind of like short, and you can't ask questions and all that. So if you can, I would definitely recommend to sign up for a course. Oh, here was a good question. How can I I can't see anymore who it was. How can I develop my clairvoyance? I think it was. Either way, like all of the clairs, I've done episodes on every single one. So go back here on Crowdcast and look at the past. I think in the description of this one, where you signed up for this one, there's a link to past shows. So look at that. And go to my past shows and look for the ones that you're looking for. So clairvoyance, clairaudience, and I think I have like exercises for all of them. Lisa asked a political question. Yeah, I'm not doing political questions, sorry. All right, so let's see, is there any other questions? Here's a question. Can we have different types of guides in one lifetime? Absolutely. You can have a nature spirit and well, we all have ancestors, obviously. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We all have an angel guide, and then you can also have like a nature spirit or an ascended master. Absolutely. We all have a team of guides that's like comprised of different types of guides. Sia asks, is the masters always around us or do they change? It depends. So we have the core team of guides that is with us our entire lives, and then we have the ones that I call the experts that come and go. So my go-to example is always, let's say you're going through a divorce that's really like hard on you, then an angel might come in to help you get over that divorce, heal your heart, and then when you're done and you're good again, the angel might leave and work with someone else. And the same goes for masters. It depends if it's like a master that's with you for your entire life or if it's a master that comes in to help you with something specific. And then something that's important to know about ascended masters is that they do not just work with one person at the same time. I know there are people out there on the internet that say, for example, they are the only ones that work with Jesus, for example, or they are the only ones that work with the sun god Ra, or, you know, and that's just not true. Like these kinds of ascended masters work with huge groups of people. Joanna, right now, and I hope next week again. And I saw your email. Sorry for not responding yet. All right, so, oh, here's a new question. Jennifer asks, recently realized I am an empath, made connection with Haniel. Is that one of my guides? Then I would have to do a reading for you, but it could be. The thing is, guys, like if you feel really connected with a specific guide, or you really feel drawn to that guide, or you're really like interested in that guide, chances are they are one of your guides. Otherwise you wouldn't be drawn to them. Otherwise you wouldn't be interested in them. So just trust yourself, trust your own intuition in these things, because your intuition is like your best guide in that sense. You don't need necessarily some evidence about that. It's evidence enough that you feel drawn to Haniel. So just work with Haniel and see how long you want to work with Haniel, and otherwise just when the interest wanes, that's fine too. Then it was a guide that just came and left. If you stick with it, then it's a guide that's one of your main guides. So just generally trust yourself, listen to your own intuition. Sheila asks, are spirit guides different from those who are part of our soul group? Yes and no. That's a good question. So soul groups are kind of like family. So you travel together throughout like the universe in that sense. You're kind of like a pack of wolves, if you will. You often incarnate together, although not always. And that's where it gets more complicated, because if you're not incarnated at the same time, one of your soul group can be one of your spirit guides. So there's no yes and no answer in that sense. All right. And also, guys, if you have like questions about something that has nothing to do with this, but more that, I don't know, I didn't reply to an email or something like admin, then please email me instead of asking here. Because here I try to only answer questions that bring value to everyone. And so these admin questions don't. All right, so I think I answered all your questions. Right. Oh, Maria says, if money is an issue when it comes to the workshops, etc., the past workshops on her site are amazing. I was part of one, and actually that's the one that's still on there, the one that Maria was part of, I think. It's just that it's like, I think 2 or 3 years old. But otherwise, it's the same information. I will update it. I will add a new one that's a bit more newer. But yes, so the one on my site is probably, it's $99. It's probably the cheapest one from the ones that I do live. Because I do them with other organizations, I don't determine the price. And I can't like say, yeah, you can have a payment plan or whatever. But if you like want to get the one on my website and you really have trouble paying the $99, just email me and we can work out a payment plan. All right, guys. So thank you so much for coming. If you are interested to get a full reading, which is 60 minutes, so 1 hour, it's one-on-one. Obviously, the messages are much longer. You can ask questions. Then go and click like the green button below that says book a reading, and yeah, and book a reading. And then I'll do a reading for you one-on-one. And otherwise, I hope to see you next week. And thank you so much for coming. And yeah, have a lovely week, you guys. Bye.